Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Me and Nathan had some fun last week.
Yes, you did. But, it's good to know that if I want to take a day off, I have someone who can fill in and do a good job for me. So
he did a great job.
Yeah, he's a little ornery, but that's okay.
Yeah,
that's all right.
Wrong with that.
Saying things about his mama that weren't true, but that's all right.
Where you got all that?
Not from me. It must have been from his dad.
I still want to see those pictures of Paul and the all decked out in the suit and everything. That's still what I'm looking for.
Oh, he was handsome. Let me tell you what. We had a great time. And no, I did not dislocate my hip. So we'll just straighten that out right now.
You're not in therapy right now, right?
Oh, no. No, everything's fine. It's all good. It's all good.
Well, you look nice and refreshed. That day off really,
It did help. I was ready. Sure. I needed a day off, so.
We all do that sometimes.
Thanks for letting me have that off. I appreciate it.
Some of the things you said last week is kind of warming up to you now, kind of
giving
you all these compliments.
Dan, you didn't have to jump in there and say that, You're not helping anything.
Well, I only got to listen about half the show, so I don't know how the last half went, but you guys did a great job, so it was all fun.
Yep.
And today I think we have a really super fun show for everyone today. I'm so excited. I asked my friend Jerry Koeneman to come and be on the show for us. Jerry is with the Springfield Firefighters. Mm-hmm. He's a fireman here in Springfield. Does a great job for everyone, keeping them safe. One of the reasons some of the people who've been listening to the show probably remember that a few weeks ago there was a fire that affected your family, Mark,
yes,
and so
sure did.
We thought it might be a great time with all the stuff that's going on to bring Jerry on and have him talk about fire safety.
Absolutely.
So welcome to the show, Jerry.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming. You might want to just start out. I don't know a lot about fire safety, but I don't know what is the most important thing maybe right now that people need to be aware of as far as keeping their homes safe for the upcoming holidays and the winter weather and all that kind of stuff.
Probably the big thing with this time of year, the weather's starting to get a little cool, so people will use space heaters, a lot of extension cord use, so just probably not overloading your outlets, being very careful that you're using extension cords properly, the right type of extension cords. Of course, then we're going to be rolling into the holidays, Christmas trees, everybody's burning candles, and then trying to play the Griswolds and have as many Christmas lights as they can in their house. Just try to follow all the instructions on the packages and not trying to plug 10 sets of lights into one outlet or so many extension cords into the power strips. Just basic fire safety.
Just kind of common sense things, a little bit.
A little bit, yes. Everybody tries to, see if they can push the envelope a little bit and stretch a few more sections of lights on that tree, or want to burn candles, make sure everything looks nice, but with all the decorations and everything around the house, you just have to be very careful. Naturally, and then cooking, holidays, everybody's cooking for the holidays, hopefully. And cooking fires are a big concern this time of year. Have to be careful with that.
I'll bet, because a lot of times when you're doing that, and I do a lot of cooking, so it's something that I have to kind of be aware of too. But when you have a lot of people over and family and grandkids and you have a lot of activity going on that you might not normally have, and so sometimes you can be easily distracted. So you don't want to boil the potatoes dry and set your pan on fire and that kind of thing. So sometimes it kind of helps if you have a little bit of help in the kitchen to kind of watch with all that kind of stuff. I personally have had fires in my kitchen before. So, yeah, it can happen.
It definitely can happen, and that's, I found out that, some people will try to use their smoke alarms in their house as a cooking timer, but it
Probably
doesn't
not.
work out too well. It doesn't work out too well.
I think it's a little late by the time that timer goes off.
Right, yes.
I think it's a little late to get whatever it is you're cooking off the stove or out of the oven.
We like to cook a little bit at the fire station, so generally if something like that happens, we just call it Cajun style. It's been blackened. So, melt some cheese on that, and it's good.
And it's all good from there.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
I remember I was a little kid, and I remember this so well. We were still living in Dixon, Missouri, so I couldn't have been over probably 5 or 6 years old. And I was out playing, and I remember my mom was on the phone, and she was talking, and I kept going to the screen door at that time. I kept going to the screen door saying, "Mom, I smell smoke." And she's like, go on and play. You know, she's talking, you know, and I kept coming back and telling her that. And she put on a pot of beans, and they had boiled dry. And while she was on the phone, and you know, that's back. We didn't have smoke detectors back then. You know, we didn't even know they existed. But I remember so well of. I kept going to the door and telling her. Finally, she realized after the house filled with smoke and stuff. But if we'd had smoke detectors, why they'd have went off, no doubt. So
that's true. That's true. Well, talking about smoke detectors, if someone doesn't have one, or if they want to get one for their home, do you guys have any? What do you suggest they do?
Yes, this is a great topic, and I wanted to talk about this morning.
Okay, good.
Very timely. The Springfield Fire Department just received a grant as well. 2010 Firefighter Safety and Prevention grant, and this allows us to buy several smoke detectors, truckload of smoke detectors, and they are free to the public. All you have to do is call 864-1500 and ask for an application. They'll take your name and address and have a fire company come out and install a smoke detector for you free. Totally free of charge. We just want everybody to be safe. The great thing about these new detectors that we bought, you'll see in the stores there's two types of detectors: an ionization smoke detector, and it'll say on the outside of the box, and photoelectric. The ionization detectors will pick up what we call high flame fires. These are generally by cooking fires. If somebody's cooking with grease or oil, they'll flash up real fast. Or candles catching drapes or upholstery on fire. They will flame up very rapidly. So that kind of detector will detect that very quickly. The other type, photoelectric, works on picking up particles of smoke, so it's better at smoldering fires. So we'll say, like extension, we talked about extension cords earlier. They get to sit and smolder for a while and build up some smoke maybe overnight. Things that maybe have gotten to smolder on maybe somebody's deck or back porch. It's very good about picking up those type of fires. So the new smoke alarms that we have are dual sensor. So they have the ionization and the photoelectric. So pick up any type of fire very quickly, buys you some precious minutes to make sure everybody's safe. And like I said, we're pretty excited about this program. In 2011, we started a campaign to try to, since it was 2011, we wanted to...
This weekend's EU summit will lead to a plan to combat the region's debt crisis. The Dow Industrial's up 213 at 11,754, and the Nasdaq's up 44, the S&P 500 up 22. McDonald's reported higher than expected quarterly profit helped by new menu items and a tiered price menu in Europe that includes premium and lower price selections. Shares of the world's biggest fast food chain up nearly 3% on the report. Groupon today set a November 4th date for its long-anticipated IPO, saying it seeks to raise as much as $621 million, valuing the company at $11.4 billion. Sony says it's talking with mobile phone and tablet computer manufacturers about bringing PlayStation video games to more portable devices. The Japanese company wants to expand PlayStation Suite, a smartphone and tablet application for Google's Android. This is the Wall Street Journal report.
You're stranded by the side of the road. It's raining, 1 in the morning, and your car has a flat tire. Too bad your motor club membership expired years ago. Who can you call for help? Allstate wants everyone to be protected on the road. So before this happens to you, give them a call. Because right now, Allstate is giving every driver in America a free lifetime membership in Good Hands Roadside Assistance just for calling. You don't even have to be an Allstate customer. You'll get 24/7 access and low flat rates on everything from tows to tire changes. So down the road, when you need help, you'll know you're in good hands.
Call a local agent or 888-ALL-STATE today and get a lifetime membership in Good Hands Roadside Assistance absolutely free. You can't afford not to call. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Shop less, get more. Make one call to an Allstate agent.
Save big during the PetSmart Fall Festival of Savings. You'll find great deals on thousands of items when you use your Pet Perks card. Save $4 on select Imes dog food and 30 to 40 pound bags. And look for specially marked Imes bags with over $55 worth of coupons inside. Good on Imes and other great products. Don't miss these great fall deals on Iams right now, only at PetSmart. Happiness in store. While supplies last, offer valid through October 23rd with your Pet Perks card.
It's Macy's one-day sale Saturday, Preview Day Friday. Save 50% on select men's outerwear, 30 to 50% plus an extra 15% on fine jewelry, and 60% on the entire stock of pillows. Save 50 to 80% on clearance sportswear, dresses, home, and more. Plus, take 15% off select regular and sale prices store-wide. Macy's one-day sale Saturday, Preview Day Friday. Savings off regular sale and clearance prices, exclusions apply. See store for details.
From the Ozarks News Network, here's your 10:30 report. Police say the body found on September 28th at Springfield Lake has been positively identified as 44-year-old William James Bagby. Detectives believe Bagby is possibly from Kentucky and was a transient in the Springfield area. Next of kin has not been notified due to Bagby's transient status. Detectives do not believe foul play was involved and are awaiting the final results from the autopsy report. That case remains open. A man from Cotter, Arkansas, was arrested twice overnight, accused of driving drunk. The Baxter County Sheriff says 30-year-old Brian Sandy already had a previous DWI when he was booked Thursday morning. He posted $2,000 bond and was released about 45 minutes later. He was released into the custody of a Mountain Home man who agreed not to let Sandy drive. However, a Gasville officer says he saw Sandy get back behind the wheel fewer than 30 minutes later. That's when he was arrested and again released after posting $3,000 bond. He's due in court November 3rd on county charges, in district court November 14th for Gasville charges. I'm Jamie Turner for the Ozarks News Network.
I'm Michelle, and I'm going to Walgreens because I remember the misery of last year's head cold. Ugh.
Wake up and smell the coffee grater.
Smell? I could barely breathe.
Route 17's blocked up.
My nose feels like Route 17. This year, I'll be ready. At Walgreens, I can find answers like new Robitussin nasal relief tablets to relieve my head cold symptoms.
Robitussin, relief made simple. This week at Walgreens, get select Robitussin cold products for $5.99 with in-store coupon. Walgreens, there's a way to stay well. Use as directed. Save big during the PetSmart Fall Festival of Savings. You'll find great deals on thousands of items when you use your Pet Perks card. Save $4 on select Iams dog food and 30 to 40-pound bags. And look for specially marked Iams bags with over $55 worth of coupons inside. Good on Iams and other great products. Don't miss these great fall deals on Iams right now, only at PetSmart. Happiness in store. While supplies last, offer valid through October 23rd with your Pet Perks card.
For Margaret, we shared a newspaper in a thunderstorm. We raised 3 amazing children. We sang at the piano until the neighbors complained. So here's to making the next 30 years as wonderful as the first. Love, Adam.
When you give the gift of New York Life, you give the most selfless gift of all. New York Life Insurance Company can help you plan a secure retirement so you can spend your retirement years the way you deserve. Contact your New York Life agent or visit us at newyorklife.com.
It will be warmer today with mostly sunny skies, a high 64, winds from the west to southwest 4 to 8 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies tonight, low 42. Partly cloudy to start the weekend tomorrow, high of 70, low for tomorrow night, 51. Sunday times of clouds and sunshine, high 73. Sunny much of the time, breezy and pleasant for your Monday, high of 83. There is the chance for a shower on Tuesday, high of 81. I'm AccuWeather's Jason Lord.
52 degrees in Springfield.
Well, I went down to the hardware store to see my old friend Bob. I said my roof leaks, my rug's a mess, and my front door needs a new knob. I got squirrels in my attic, I got bats in my head. Well, Bob just leaned over the counter and he shook his head and said, "You need home repairs and solutions. Home repairs and solutions. They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions."
And you're listening to Home Repairs and Solutions with Mark and Mary, brought to you by Spring Mountain Air Heating and Air Conditioning, your local Amana dealer. Once again, Mary Pearson and Mark Weathers and their guests for today.
And welcome back, everyone. That was a short break, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Or else we were busy talking. I'm not sure what. That seemed like a short break.
What it was.
Well, I think you should tell a little bit about the motorcycle ride you went on last weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Mark was the big winner of that deal.
I just can't believe it. But, yeah, we rode in the Cruising for Cleavage charity ride for Breast Cancer Foundation of the Ozarks. Wonderful people. Had a great time. The weather was beautiful.
Yes, it was.
And I had the winning poker hand on the poker ride. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
That's pretty cool. And there were a lot of people in that event.
There was. I don't know. I'm just guessing from just, when we pulled up at registration, there had to be at least 150 bikes.
That's wonderful.
More. I mean, it was fun. It was a great time.
Yeah, it was just your lucky day.
It was.
That's great.
Yeah.
I bet you do that again next year.
You can bet on it. Well, and we've talked about this so many times. They're such a great organization, and I just love those girls over there. They're such nice
they're
people.
wonderful.
Yeah, and so definitely plan on doing it again next year, and I know they that ride helped them raise a lot of money.
Yes, it did.
So
which is great.
Yeah. So
which is excellent.
So yeah, we had a good time.
Well, congratulations on being the big winner, too.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, that's fun. And a nice ride to boot. So,
there you go. There you go.
Yep. Yeah. So.
Well, I think we'll get back on our subject of how to keep yourself safe and prevent fires and all that kind of thing. Something else that we do a lot now, we grill out a lot at my house. I know some people in the fall, I don't know, there's just something about the fall and the cool weather, and you want to grill outside and you want to have campfires, and it's just more adept to that type of activity, I think. So what about people that want to, like, it might be a little cool, a little rainy or something, and I've seen people grill in their garages or under their carports or on their decks. Or
yes, we refer
what's
to
up
them,
with that?
You are talking about fair-weathered grillers. That is true.
Yeah.
They don't want to battle the elements for that great meal. But yes, the problem is, and two subjects on this. First, with the gas grills. So people, they're nice and convenient. They wheel them right into their garage. They don't realize it is giving off carbon monoxide, which is perfectly safe if you're on your back deck that's not enclosed and there's air circulating. But when you move that into a garage, it can start building up. And the problem with carbon monoxide is you're not going to see it, you're not going to smell it, you're not going to taste it. It's just going inside your body and doing some damage. And that's why one of the things we really stress, we wish people would not move their grills inside. They think, well, it'll just be for a few minutes. But it doesn't take long, and then once that gets in your house, of course it's wintertime, the houses are shut up, there's not a lot of ventilation, so it stays. So it can be problematic. And then also you have a problem with charcoal grills. And people think, well, I don't have a propane grill, I don't have to deal with carbon monoxide. But you do. The charcoal grills give off even several different types of gases, but it's giving off carbon monoxide as well. And probably the biggest problem with that shouldn't be indoors either or an enclosed area.
They were made to be used outside. They're an outside piece of equipment.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And just a quick reminder, there's several people that tend to forget once you grill one night and use a charcoal grill. They think the next day that it's all cooled off and they're ready to go. They'll dump those coals into a plastic garbage bag and sit in their trash can right by their house. Well, those coals are still warm. They'll stay warm for a few days, as a matter of fact. And if you pile them in a nice plastic bag where they get to smolder for a little bit longer and there's just enough air in there, they'll burn a hole through that plastic bag, get some more air, and next thing you know, you've set your house on fire. So definitely be careful with those coals. You should have a metal bucket or something you can dump those coals in. I wouldn't treat them any differently than when you're cleaning out your fireplace and cleaning out the ashes. That should go into a metal bucket, never a plastic bucket or a combustible bag. And we see that quite often. And that also leads into fireplaces. This is the time of year everybody's going to start with their fireplaces.
Sure.
A lot of times, yeah, that's true. A lot of times you just need a little bit of fire to take the chill off, especially when it's nice during the day, and then it just gets a little cold. Maybe you don't want to turn your furnace on yet, and I know we like to do that where we're at. I like to just have a little fire once in a while, and it just kind of gives you that warm, feel-good feeling, but you've got to be careful with them.
Exactly. And, you know, a few things on that we always look for. People, make sure you try to get some seasoned firewood. Some people, and this is the time of year you should be collecting your firewood. People will go out and buy some fresh cut firewood. Doesn't really burn that clean, builds up a lot of creosote, gives off a lot of gases. So just not good for your health or good for your fireplace as well. And then the other thing we see, I just really can't stress enough, are the chimneys and the fireplaces, the flue, to have them properly cleaned.
Right.
That's a huge thing for us, and everybody's forgotten about it. The weather, we had a nice warm summer, so nobody's really thought about it. They just want to be warm now, so they start a little fire. And burning green wood, or burning, a lot of people will try to burn all kinds of things in their fireplace. There again, be careful with paper, because it doesn't really totally combust, especially like wrapping paper for Christmas. That's a popular thing for people. They just think you're going to dispose of it in their fireplace. It doesn't burn completely, doesn't really burn hot enough. It just gives off a lot of ash, and a lot of that stuff will stick inside your flue. And then as that builds up over time, can damage your flue, and put a little, you know, if it starts cracking, can crack in the mortar, and that smoke and heat can go through that mortar. Next thing you know, you've set your attic on fire. We've seen that happen quite a bit.
I guess you shouldn't put your Christmas trees in there and burn them in there either.
No.
Do people really do that?
Mary, I think you're bound and determined. We're going to come to your house at some point. Between burning leaves, burning Christmas trees, starting fires with gas. Kind of leading by example, I guess. Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
But, yeah, definitely in the fireplace, it's definitely worth it to have some service come out and just clean your flue. It's not that difficult. If some people can even do it themselves, a simple brush can take care of it. But it's nice to have somebody look at it, inspect it, and make sure it's ready. There's all different types. There's liners you can put in there, and it doesn't hurt just to have it checked out, because generally we see that quite often, and we just end up making a big mess in your living room at that point. So you just have to be very careful. Definitely what type of wood you buy. Have some type of fireplace screen that will, sparks will come out of that fireplace every once in a while and land on the carpet. So nice hearth rug, which is built for that.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can get rugs for that. I think that when it hits that rug, then I don't know what's in the rug, but it kind of...
It's a little more fire resistant than just carpet.
Now, it will kind of put a little black mark on the rug, because we had one of those, but it doesn't catch anything on fire. So we have used those in the past, and they do work very well. So after a season, though, if you have too many sparks out, they don't look real good. So then you have to...
Easily replaced.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Easier than rebuilding your home.
Yeah, just think what your house would look like if you did, you know.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah.
That's correct.
True.
Yeah.
And so we see that quite often. People, as they're standing outside watching the top of their house burn and maybe get into another part of their house, you know, like, well, if you just would have spent a little bit of money to have that flue inspected and cleaned, you wouldn't have to go through all that. So
that's true.
Definitely something to be aware of.
Is there as things happen around and you're fighting fires for different reasons and stuff, is there one thing in particular that seems to cause more fires than anything else? Is there something that stands out? Like, is it burning candles, or is it overloaded electrical, or is it smoking, or I mean, is there something that seems to be more common for house fires?
Definitely nationwide, and with your business, you should be very familiar with this. Heating and air conditioning units are probably the leading cause, and not so much the heat systems installed in the houses, but people using space heaters or trying to add on
improperly.
Using space heaters improperly, generators, or another thing, anything that they're using to power other heaters. Definitely is probably the leading cause nationwide. In Springfield, we're kind of shocked to find that electrical and cooking is probably the #1 cause in this area, followed by a very close second of smoking. So many different ways smoking. People will, they think they put the cigarette out on the ashtray, but then, little ones, or they get up and knock the ashtray and knocks it into a chair or couch or on the carpet. and then have some magazines or paper products nearby, and the next thing you know, you got a little house fire there. Smoking this time of year, and the big push, since a lot of people can't smoke in public buildings now. We notice a lot of times people will have a back deck. They'll walk outside the house to smoke, and smokers tend to be very habitual, smoke in the same place, drop their cigarette the same way. And if you've ever noticed, we caught on to this after going to several fires. If you watch in your backyard, leaves will always blow into the same place, and they'll accumulate on your deck. When you throw that cigarette butt down, the wind will kind of pick that up, and it all ends up in the same place eventually. So I can't tell you how many times we've had back porches catch on fire, and they're like, well, I was smoking, but it was yesterday since I had my last cigarette. But they've dropped their cigarette butt there, and it's collected with hundreds of others of cigarette butts. Throw in a few leaves and some wind, and boom, instant house fire. So just something that they don't think about, when they put that down. It can build up over time, and you'll see, underneath that decking where that's just charred for days or weeks, and finally got hot enough and conditions were right that it'll spark and get right into your house.
I think that's one thing that folks don't realize is how long something can sit and smolder. I mean, we're talking sometimes days. Back, when we lived out in the country and we burned brush piles and stuff, my gosh, you might come and take a tractor or something and move that. We're talking weeks.
Yes.
And it's still burning down in there. There's still hot coals and stuff.
Yes, and that just comes from the material not burning all the way completely through, or the fire didn't get was not hot enough. And there again, I can't stress enough: please don't try to throw liquid, gasoline, kerosene, anything like that.
Mary.
People think, well, the more I put on there, the hotter that it'll burn, and everything will burn completely. Doesn't quite work out that way. I mean, it gets real hot for a few seconds, but once that burns up. So yes, ashes, any type of brush, coals, they'll retain heat for quite a while.
All right. And so I want to go back to the barbecue grills real quick. It is against city ordinance to use a charcoal grill on a deck, right? Or like in an apartment.
In an apartment complex, if it's going to be more than 3 apartments, there is a code against that.
Okay.
So
if you live in an apartment, where are you supposed to grill?
25 feet away from the building.
Oh, so like in the parking lot or something?
They'll generally have common areas in the apartment complexes, and a lot of apartment complexes have gone ahead and put up kind of like what you'll see when you go to like the lake or a park. They'll have
like a pavilion or
a stand. Maybe even not a pavilion. They'll just have little grills out there where you can do charcoal grilling.
Oh, okay.
Or you can have a gas grill on your balcony, but you have to move it out away from the building when you want to barbecue. And that's definitely a huge safety factor, because you're not only affecting your residents or your property, but
all your neighbors, close
it's funny
neighbors.
You mention that, because just this morning we had a house fire, or a building fire in an apartment complex, and it started on the 3rd story of this resident's balcony. But we had to evacuate 20 apartments at 5:30 in the morning, so they weren't very happy to see us when we woke everybody up. But they kind of understood, so got out quickly. Was very proud of them. But yeah, you affect a lot of people in that instance, so that's why that code has to be there. That's a huge life safety concern for us. A lot of people, all in one building.
Yeah, I would think so. That it would be kind of unnerving to be woken up that way, but under the circumstances, I would be very happy that you came and got me out.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's just something that especially when you live in an environment like that, or you have close neighbors. Some houses are pretty close together too.
Yes.
So you got to just think, whatever you're doing is not just affecting you, and so you really don't want to burn down your neighbor's house, or you don't want to have something seriously bad happen to your neighbor in your next apartment or something. That's something that you have to deal with the rest of your life, and that's kind of tough.
Right.
That'd be kind of tough. So,
and I think people in general, everybody makes mistakes, and and we've gone to several. We'll call them near misses. People have had accidents, but have either had a fire extinguisher there, or it just didn't get very big before we got there. So they kind of think, "Wow, what could have been." but nobody wants to. They would feel awful, obviously, if
Yeah.
their house catches on fire and it, wind conditions are right, or like you said, so close it catches the neighbor's house on fire as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We see that a lot. People's garage sits fairly close, and it gets hot enough, and fire just laps up onto the next house.
Sure, sure.
So
I have another question for you. So a lot of times you guys respond to like accidents on the highway and stuff too. Do you respond to those? Your point of that is, I'm assuming it's medical as well as maybe if there's a car fire or something to extinguish that. But are most of those medically related calls when you respond to accidents on the highway?
most of them, yes, because motor vehicle accidents, yes, definitely people are going to be injured. There is a fire concern, but the majority of it is medical. And from my position, being a rescue specialist, our concern is getting those people out of the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times they're making vehicles better and better every year, and it seems like every year they've just added so many different things, so many things to protect people. But we have to approach how we take that car apart as well. When you're stuck in there, you just can't go in, and it used to be pretty simple.
You don't just jerk them out the window?
You could just pull them out the window or rip that car. I mean, you could cut, the roof of the car off, so simple. But now with airbags, there's so many lines, and then you have hybrid cars, so there's huge electric cables running through that car. You really have to be careful what you do.
Sure.
So we're constantly going to school and getting educated on everything that's changing. So most of the time it's just to make sure those people can get out of their vehicles safely, and then after that, it's generally medical attention.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully without any further injury. Sometimes if you don't know what the injuries are, you still have to get them out. And,
right, and that's our goal, to try to get access to them and get them out as quickly as possible.
That's good to know.
Yes,
I hope I never need you except as a friend, Jerry.
Well, that is.
But if I do, I'm glad to know that you guys are so easily and readily available to help out. So we've got a little bit of time left. Dan's given us the 3 fingers up, which means we got about 3 minutes left in the show. So if you have a question for any of us, or just want to know anything specific, you want to ask Jerry a question, you can reach us at 862-9977 or 1-800-375-0056. Why don't you give them your information again if they think of something, or if they just want to call after the show? What number can they call, and what's the website again, so they can get that information?
Website, which covers everything that we've talked about here today and more, is www.springfieldmo.gov, and you just click on fire department, and there's several different you can learn about the history of the fire department, all the positions, if anybody's hiring, all about fire safety, fire education, what's age appropriate to talk about with your children, what they can understand, and just give you different topics. All kinds of information on that website if you want to look at the fire code. But if you have any questions or don't understand anything, you can always call 864-1500, and that's our fire department headquarters, and they'll direct your call to the appropriate person.
Now, if someone's interested in becoming a fireman, so we have someone out there listening and they're thinking, I've always wanted to do that, can they get more information by calling you? How do they go about getting started on becoming a fireman?
All the requirements are on the website.
Okay.
That we've talked about.
Okay.
They can call, and most of the time the people will be working as a firefighter in another city or town, usually a smaller town. We pull a lot of firefighters from the surrounding areas.
Okay.
In here, we've pulled a lot of people from out of state. They like this area.
It's a great place to live.
Love it here. Yeah.
Yeah, great place to live. So, is there a minimum age requirement for that? Do you have to be like 21 or 25?
It's 18.
Oh, 18. Okay.
18 is the minimum age.
18. All right. Okay.
So, and they've really broadened. It used to be where you had to have your firefighter 1 and 2 state certification and EMT, but they've kind of broadened that out. If you have some college credit hours, that could help apply. Just trying to pull from the largest group that we can.
Okay. Well, thanks again for being with us
Yeah.
on the
Oh,
show.
anytime.
Great
I
information,
appreciate it.
Jerry. It was great having you here.
Anytime at all.
Well, this is Home Repairs and Solutions. We're heard every Friday from 10 to 11 right here on AM 560 KWTO. Mary, have a good weekend.
You too, Mark.
They'll fix your windows, they'll fix your house, they'll even tell you how to get rid of a mouse. Home repairs and solutions.